Arsenal win against Fulham is gonna rattle a lot of people actually on social media and a lot of rivals, of course. But we gotta talk about it. Was it a controlled performance? Was it a boring performance? How did Arsenal get out of this game with the 3 points? Of course, there are positives, there are negatives. We're gonna speak about it. This is Arsenal 1, Fulham 0. Arsenal to stay top of the table. We're gonna talk about this is the post-match analysis. Before we go on and analyze the game and talk about the aspects of this game, make sure to hit that like button. This is Footy Judge Mo. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new here. And let me know in the comment sections what you guys think, of course. And if you're new here, turn on the notification bell to know when we go live later and talk about the games and game reviews and everything. But I'm going to start by saying a couple of things. I saw Arsenal got the job done one way or the other. It's a set piece, which is, I am never someone to sit here and actually put shades on a win with a set piece. You know how many times other teams win with set pieces. Did Arsenal create enough chances in this game to win the game? Couple of chances. Gyökeres shot in the first half. Not enough chances created from Arsenal to actually win the game. In my opinion, another chance in the second half. A penalty was turned over correctly. Let's just establish that it wasn't a penalty for Arsenal, and the defender got the ball first before making contact, if made any contact with Bukayo Saka. That is not re-refereeing the game. You got to be honest with yourself. But the performance of Arsenal, I'm going to say a couple of things. When I was watching the game in the first half, Arsenal were trying, but they wanted to be in control. You know, Calafiori scored that brilliant finish that was rolled over for offside correctly as well. But why do people needed Arsenal to play better and be excited against Fulham? Arsenal had, if I'm not mistaken, like 75 or 72% ball position. Fulham were parking the bus at the back, and Arsenal tried to break them down and couldn't. And one of the things that you can break teams down is set pieces. I thought the Arsenal were very cautious. Yeah, a couple of breakaways from Fulham, a couple of good ones, but they didn't take their chances. They didn't actually create a lot of chances. There's one that was on David Raya that was actually a cross by Josh King. But if you're asking me last season, Arsenal, in a game like this, jammy like this, Arsenal don't win it. If you ask me the season before, Arsenal dropped points in games like this. Away at Fulham, when Fulham coming from a back-to-back losses, it was very obvious that Fulham didn't want to lose rather than trying to go for the win. And that made it very hard for Arsenal. Am I going to sit here and be disingenuous and tell you that Arsenal were absolutely majestic? No, they weren't. Arsenal weren't majestic. Arsenal weren't amazing. They didn't knock it off the park. Arsenal were just controlled, waited for the chance, waited for the set piece, waited for the corner, and basically scored from the set piece. And one of the things I commend Arsenal for in this game, which is one of the positives that I wanted to ask you, this is the difference between this Arsenal and Arsenal of last year's. After the 1-0, I thought the Arsenal were more in control than the seasons before. Do you think this is a different brand? That is what Arteta is looking for, the control. Even after you go up 1-0, you don't defend, because remember against Manchester United, away at Old Trafford in the beginning of the season, Arsenal kind of defended deep, allowed Man United to have more of the possession, allowed Man United to come at them and actually try to actually park the bus, Arsenal, as we like to say. But this game, Arsenal didn't. They were still attacking. They were still trying. They're still trying to knock the ball around, be in control, which is one of the things that I commend Arteta for. The game, and there is no time that I thought that Arsenal would actually lose this game or even a draw after the 1-0, of course. I knew that the goal might be coming from a set piece or a corner or a penalty or something like this. Arsenal were going to try to knock on the door. Arsenal were going to try to actually make things happen for themselves. And I know there is a lot of people that are going to be rattled. You guys know that people are going to be rattled. But I got to ask a couple of things about, I wanted to rate the players. But make sure if you're here to like the video. I actually think that even though Trossard scored the goal, I thought he was awful on the pitch. The crosses that didn't connect, trying to dribble that didn't work, the passes that he missed, I thought he was not good at all. That was masked by actually the goal scored. I gotta be honest, he was one of the worst Arsenal players on the pitch today. From my point of view, he should have been subbed, and Arteta waited, and then he got the goal. It's a tap in. It's a flick by Gabriel. I'm not gonna give Trossard. Yes, he's there, right time, right place. But the credit goes to the cross by Bukayo Saka. The credit goes to Gabriel more than Trossard, in my opinion. And that performance is not good. Still, Arsenal need to find that left winger, especially with Odegaard being out. And I have to say that is, and because Calafiori is so good, Calafiori deserves a left winger that is better than this. But they are in control. You watch the table, Arsenal are top of the table, of course, with 19 points now. Man City 3 points behind them. Liverpool play tomorrow against Manchester United at Anfield. If Liverpool win, they are 1 point behind them. Then the race continues with everything. It looks like the table is going to be shaping towards Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool title race, especially if Liverpool win tomorrow. And Arsenal need to keep the gap. They need to keep winning games. The next 3 games for Arsenal are winnable games. And that is what Arsenal need to focus on. Just keep putting the wins on the board, the 3 points, which is, and I'm going to say something, which is what people actually spoke about other teams. They all care about. If you're playing away from home, is getting the 3 points. So why would we be disingenuous about Arsenal and say that, no, for Arsenal, the performance matter more? Today's performance was in control, but boring. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm going to say that it didn't catch my eye, the performance today, but the 3 points is what's important. Similar to probably if this was a recurring theme for Arsenal, we would actually talk about it like we spoke about it. So we got to be honest here. If this keeps happening and Arsenal don't play well and they win games 1-0 like this, maybe we'll talk about that, especially against the Fulhams and the Leeds. Like they won against Leeds 5. They won 3-0 against Nottingham Forest in control today away at Fulham. After the international break, I think the win is what was needed from Arsenal today. But the title race continues. Man City looked good this morning when they played Everton. They looked good, a little bit open, but Erling Haaland comes clutch for them. So the title race continues. But there is a player that we need to speak about, which is Victor Gyökeres. I thought that Victor Gyökeres was sluggish. I didn't, like, for me, to be honest with you, I'm like, I need to see more from Victor Gyökeres. I need Victor Gyökeres to play better. I need Victor Gyökeres to look good, better than this. Same, we're asking for Wirtz. We're going to talk about, I'm asking Wirtz to do something. Yeah, don't tell me that Gyökeres scored 3 goals, blah, blah, blah. He scored 2 of them against Leeds, 1 from penalty, one was a good goal by him. So, but he needs to start actually scoring goals because he had 2 chances to actually bury them and he took the shot. Taking the shot is not enough for me. He needs to actually try to actually score the goals and he didn't. Couple of chances also on that left foot. So a bad finish that fell for him. Should have finished that, at least work the goalkeeper. So I want to know your opinion about Gyökeres. Do you think he's going to get better? How many goals do you think he's going to score? I'm actually not sure. But listen, a win is a win for Arsenal, but if this continues, people need to ask questions. Let me know in the comment sections what you guys think. Is it only about the 3 points, or we should analyze the performances like we did for Liverpool and it caught up to them? This is a one-off for Arsenal. A win is a win. Let me know in the comment section. Hit that like button, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later, depending when you're watching this.